What do you know about why these peace talks broke down?
Well, Anna, the Trump administration says those talks fell apart because Iran is not willing to give up its nuclear ambitions. The president saying this morning, nuclear is really the only point that matters. The vice president first announced that these talks fell apart after 21 hours that the negotiating team spent at the table with Iran there in Pakistan. President Trump this morning announcing that in reaction, the U.S. Navy is going to immediately begin a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. The president says that that'll apply to all ships trying to enter or leave the strait, writing in that announcement, at some point we will reach an all being allowed to go in, all being allowed to go out. But he says that can't happen at this point because Iran may have laid mines in the strait. As you noted, the U.S. Navy is trying to find and take out those mines. But the president also says the U.S. Navy will be finding and interdicting ships that have already paid a toll to Iran to pass through the strait. The president also warning the U.S. military is, quote, fully locked and loaded to finish up Iran after, of course, those negotiations did fail to reach a peace deal. And here's how Vice President Vance described exactly why they couldn't strike an agreement. Take a listen.
We go back to the United States having not come to an agreement. We've made very clear what our red lines are, what things we're willing to accommodate them on, and what things we're not willing to accommodate them on. And we've made that as clear as we possibly could, and they have chosen not to accept our terms.
A U.S. official telling NewsNation some of those red lines that the U.S. put forward at the table, saying those include an end to all uranium enrichment, a removal of the already enriched uranium, security framework to ensure peace with regional allies, an end to Iran funding terrorist groups, including groups like Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, and fully reopening the Strait of Hormuz without tolls. A crucial point there. President Trump also saying in an interview on Fox News this morning, he doesn't think that negotiations are over. He believes Iran is going to come back to the negotiating table. Anna?
All right, and Hannah, if the strait remains closed, what does that mean for Americans facing rising gas prices already?
Well, it's certainly adding to the concerns, but President Trump is once again dismissing high gas prices as a short-term problem. This new blockade announcement does certainly seem poised to at least prolong the oil shortages causing that global price spike. But here's what the president said about how long he thinks the costs could be higher.
Do you believe the price of oil and gas will be lower before the midterm elections?
I hope so. I mean, I think so. It could be. It could be or the same or maybe a little bit higher, but it should be around the same. I think this won't be that much longer. They're wiped out.
So not a very certain timeline from the president there, but we know the White House is trying to put their economic message back in the spotlight this week because President Trump has trips scheduled to Arizona and Nevada. While there, he'll be highlighting the new tax policies that he and congressional Republicans recently passed, showcasing measures like no tax on tips, things that the White House says are giving Americans bigger tax refunds this year. Anna?
All right, NewsNation's Hannah Brandt live for us at the White House. Keep your nose to the ground there and let us know if you come up with anything else. We'll come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.